So are connections the same as relationships? They are not, but Ashes, they are related. They're related. Connections and relationship are related. So it's not that we get it wrong, but they're so closely related that we can get them confused. And that's what we're going to break down today. So connection. What is a connection? Connection is something. Let me turn this down a little bit. Connection is something that we do. Connection is something that we do. It's an action. Connection is when we interact with someone. So connection is an interaction. When we deal with relationships grow from a series of connections. So when we come to a place to have a series of connections, then that's when we form relationships. In order for you to have a relationship with somebody, you have to have and build a connection. Now, Journey Hey Love, now what type of connection that we're building, that we have? That's what the question is. What's the value? If connections are something, or if it's something we do, is an action, it's an interaction that we have. Relationships grow from a series of connections. So the more connections that we have is when we start building these relationships. But the deep thing about connections is what type of connections is being created. What type of connection is being created? I want you to understand what a connection is. So I want you to think of a connection as a phone call. So if you call someone and they pick up the phone, you are now connected. You see that? You're connected. Now, look how deep this gets. I'm just going to go right in. We're just going to go there. Look how deep this gets. I call you, you pick up the phone, and because you picked up, okay, Ashes, because you picked up, we're now connected. But who's on the other line? Who's on the other line? Is it your enemy? Is it your friend? Is it a family member? Is it somebody that you do not know? Whatever and whoever that person is, come on, Ashes, that is on the other line, you have created a connection with them. Okay? So you might see where I'm going with this thing. But we can have hundreds of connections. Now, the most important thing about the connection is the value. All right. So if relationships grow off of a series of connections, what type of connections have your relationships created? So a connection can happen. Dino, hey love, OMG. Haven't seen those in so long, right? A connection can happen by someone just picking up the phone. So, as Pre just said, a connection can happen whether it's negative or positive. So what is the true question that we're asking right now? What is the value of our connections? That's it. What is the value of the connection? Why have we come to a place to create relationships without understanding the value of the connection? Why do we choose to constantly have a series of connections that are valueless? Preacher tell you what is, okay, Ashes, I see you. What is, thank you, Shekinah. Okay, beloved, I see you, love. What is the question? Well, preacher has said it before many times in his live. And what was that? Right, like why? Okay, Shekinah, I see you. Well, what is the value determined off of? Because preacher will tell you there ain't no value unless it's divine. Okay? Relationship will last without the value of the connection. Come on, preacher. The relationship can't last unless the connection has value. That's what he says. That's it. That's it. And what does the scale weigh? Okay, that's another question that I have for you. People are so quick to dismiss nowadays. That's it, because they ain't worth nothing. Come on. Okay, let me give you a little example. Let me give you an example. When we start getting rid of our clothes, I'm about to go there, Ashes. When we start getting rid of our clothes in the closet, right? We gotta make some space. Spring cleaning, whatever it is, change the season, putting clothes away. Oh, I'm gonna get rid of some clothes to make some space. As soon as we start making some space with some clothes, we quick to start throwing things in the pile that we're giving away to Goodwill. But as soon as we grab the name brand, the Prada, the real leather, the Gucci, as soon as we grab that, we say, whoa, I can't throw this out. I don't fit it, but I'm going to keep it anyway because it's good value, it's good quality, it's a good brand. Who am I talking to? We don't just discard. Thank you, beloved. We don't just discard. Spring cleaning the heart and the mind. Come on, preacher. We don't discard anything that has value because we want to keep it, because there's substance in that thing and whatever that it is. But where do we find the greatest substance that we have in life? What does the greatest substance have in all things that we do? And the greatest substance that we can actually attain is the will of God. And if we talk about the will of the Most High, if we talk about His will is divine. So when that thing is divine, we are less to toss it to God within us and God. Come on, Ashes, that's it. So we're not so quick to toss the thing of value away. So you see what preacher's saying is if my connection doesn't have value, it could be quickly discarded. So why do we choose to create relationships with the very thing that isn't worth nothing? We choose to create because of the quantity. I'm not understanding what you're saying, Candy. Well, we choose to create a friendship. Let's go even deeper. We choose to create a friendship. This is my best friend. Right? This is my best friend. Oh, why are they your best friend? Because we've been best friends for years. Because I'm bored and sad. Okay, Ashes. Right. We don't want to take no effort to figure out what the value is because we're looking at the quantity. Where's the quantity coming from? The quantity is coming from how many connections we have with that person. What does that mean? How many times we slept with them? You want me to go there? Okay, we're just gonna dive right in. How many times we slept with them? How many times we had a phone conversation? How many times we got to see them face to face? How many years we know them? Who am I talking to? Is this not it? This is how we determine our relationship. This is how we determine, well, we're not determining our relationship off of the values of our connections. We just determine our relationship off of the plain connection, whether the connection is valued or not. Whether the connection has value or not. Dwayne, thank you, love. You see that? Okay. So, okay. I hear you. Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you so much, King. I appreciate you. Do we really want to submit? Come on. I love when you guys comment. Do you really want to submit ourselves to His will? Mindsets and values take us to look in. Oh, you get, don't start, beloved. You get into my goods at the end. You get into my goods. I see you because I mean, the children know, the children of God know, right? The value of, okay, preacher, the value of connection and relationships take work. Many don't want to put in the work. work. Y'all are tapping into my notes. Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you, love. So much. That's it, right? Because the value comes from the change that's within. I mean, you guys went there. That's where the value comes from. How can I determine if there's value in a connection? Well, first, honey, I got to find value in myself. Is this not it? But why? Why do I have value? Because he gives me grace. Why do I have value? Because he gives me mercy. Why do I have value? Let's just get it down to the nitty-gritty. Because of the Most High. He's done it for me. He has shown me my value. Okay, Ashes, grace. How can I determine what the value of the connection is if I don't even know the value in myself? So when we're running around with these relationships, that when we put them under a microscope, we don't even got to get that deep. When we put our glasses on, honey. When we put our glasses on, we can see that there's no substance in a thing. I don't want 100 shirts. I'd rather have 5 quality shirts than 100 cheap shirts. Okay, well, Candy, that's what you're saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because imagine all the money I have to. Okay, I'm going there. Imagine all the money I have to spend, the time I have to waste, all those things, washing 100 shirts. That's going to break down, that I'm not going to be able to wear, that I'm eventually going to throw out, instead of having 5, maximizing my time, having value in that, in the quality and the material that I get to wear for a longer time, and not waste my time. Do right. Hey, love. We have to build connection and relationships based on what we know, not just see. I love you, do right. Welcome forward, love. Happy New Year's. Rich evening to you. Do you see that? Thank you so much, Dwayne. Thank you. I love you. Thank you, B12. Thank you, Preacher. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ashes. Thank you, everybody that has gifted me Sunflower. I love you guys. Oh, you're welcome. You're asking us to think, then make adjustments and change. Okay, B12. I'm going to give you, if you want another example of what a connection is compared to a relationship, I want you to put a 1 in the comments. If you want another example, I'll give you guys one more example of what connection is compared to relationships. I want you to put a 1 in the comments. It's not easy when we're comfortable. Lily, hey love. Okay, Ashes, I'm with you. I'm with you. Okay, Preacher, I see you. Oh, blessings to you, Dura. Yes. Oh, Dwayne, I love you. Lily Mac. Rich New Year's to you, love. I hope you're feeling fantastic. Do right. Okay. I want you to think of connections. This is how I want you to think of connections. I want you to think of connections as communication. Okay? Think of connections as communication. What I mean by communication is all forms of communication. So think of a connection as a text, a phone call, email, if face-to-face. All right. If you think of connections as communication, honey, not all methods are equal. You see what I'm saying? If you think of connections as communication and all the ways that we can communicate, not all ways and all methods of communication is equal. Okay, B-Love. Okay, Ashes. You guys, you catching what I'm throwing. You're hearing what I'm saying. You know where I'm going. Okay, Preacher. Now, if you in a right, Ashes, if you in a relationship with me, honey, you can't video chat me all the time. I don't want it. So number one, I don't want to email. Come on, B-Love. I don't want to email. Okay, we're going to get a little bit further. I don't just want to text. Shekinah, right? Right, Dwayne? I don't just want to text. Now we texting. All right, I need a video chat. All right, so now we on the video chat. All right, we had video chat long enough. Now we going to need a face-to-face, because you guys see what I'm saying? There is different values in the forms of communication. The methods are not all equal. Well, what are we doing with the connections with our relationships? Okay, Dwayne. Right? Oh, that's gonna hurt a little bit, right? Dwayne, thank you. Thank you so much, King. I appreciate you. I love you so much. Thank you so much. Right? Connection has to evolve. Come on, preacher. All right, tag teaming. The connection has to evolve. It has to change. It has to grow. There has to be more. Lily, thank you, love. It has to be more. Not all methods are equal. We going more in. Relationships are formed through the value of the exchange. Well, what type of relationship do I have with somebody if they're supposed to be my significant other and they stay giving me emails? If my significant other chooses, okay, Ashes, if my significant other chooses out of all the methods to only give me an email once in a while, then what am I saying? Relationships are formed through the value of exchange. I hear you, Most High. But if we do not come to understand what value is, how can we say that the relationship has it? If we don't come to a place to understand what value is, then how can we say our relationships have it? So what are you saying, Candy? Okay, Ashes, we choose to accept the devalued version of ourselves. Exactly, beloved. Why? Because we don't understand what value is. I can't compare anything on the scale if I don't know how to read it. If my intellect and my knowledge cannot comprehend how to read the scale. What's the scale? That He has given me life. That I have new mercies every morning that I wake up. That He gives me grace. That I have been chosen. You know what it is to say? Shout out to my preacher, to my pastor. He said Sunday. He said, you know, the word doesn't say that I chose him. It said He chose me. And he said, close your eyes and just say, He chose me. That's it. We're trying to search for our value. Just close your eyes, love, and say, He chose me. Who? The Most High has chose me. Yahweh has chose me. Before we were formed. Come on. Okay, beloved, I see you. Yes, God. Come on, Ashes. That's the value. But what are you trying to say to me, Candy? Okay, Lily. I see you, Ashes, beloved, Dwayne, preacher, pretty. I see you. Candy, what are you trying to say? I'm trying to say you had value just because. Well, I didn't do everything right. I said you have value just because. But I don't got it all together. You have value just because. You're a child of the King. You are a God being. You are king. You are queen. You are of a royal priesthood. You have been birthed by the Father. Come on, preacher. Even in a broken state, you have value. even when you feel like you're broken, because we are made whole in him. And if he lives in us, then what does that say? I could say even when I feel broken, I am whole. Because he saved me, he loved me, he died for me. Dwayne, thank you, love. Okay. So, relationships are formed through the value of the exchange. But if we don't understand what the value is, then we'll be looking at the scale and not know how to read it. Don't know what creates a real relationship. When we begin to put our glasses on to see what the scale weighs and how it works, we begin to understand the value comes through the divine. The value comes through the divine. What is that? Divine relationship. What is divine? That means God has his hand. The Most High has his hand in it. That means it's not my will, it's his. Why do we force our valueless connections to be created into relationships? Houston, thank you, love. Oh, okay, now we're going to go somewhere else. Why do we force our valueless connections into relationships? Why do we do that? Why do we do that? The motivation earlier, we was talking about, I created a relationship with someone that I was only supposed to know not longer than a hello. I wasn't supposed to know them past the hello, but I choose. But what did we do? Fear. Okay, preachers tapping into it. What do? We force things by our own will, because of what we believe that we need. Who am I talking to? What we believe that we need. Well, honey, if you didn't create the journey, how do you know what you need? If you didn't create the journey, how do you know what you need? We can't say let his will be done, but we're choosing to do whatever we choose to do. We're choosing to have relationships that we want to have. Okay, do right. Okay, preacher, I see. Okay, Ashes. What we want to have, what we want right now. Well, I want a man right now, and I want a woman right now, and I need a partner right now. So I'm going to ignore the value in the connection. Well, what are you ignoring, Candy? They technically just said hi to me because they were looking for directions, but they look good, they smell good. You know what? I need someone right now. Who am I talking to? Now my will gets in the way, and now I done created a pile of connections with someone that wasn't even looking to be with me. All right, maybe we might go too far into it, and maybe we might not want to take accountability for some things. Okay, Ashes. But with the person that ex you talking about that you had a hard time with, can we go back to the first conversations that we had with these exes and what they really was saying, but not what we wanted to hear? Okay, no, I'll just say it again, just in case we don't understand. Dollars, hey, love, just in case we're not listening, or maybe we can't hear, or something like that, went too far, stayed too long. Come on, preacher. Because it's something, Leo, welcome for King, Happy New Year's, love. Because it's something that I needed. And it didn't matter that they couldn't give it to me. Oh, did I just say that? Yeah. There's something that I needed, but it didn't matter that they could give it to me or not. But, I'm going to make this happen. We didn't listen to what they were saying. When I go back, think about the relationships that I had, and I think about my exes and the first conversations, when the Most High gave me this revelation of a lot of times that we listen with what we want to hear. We don't listen to what people are saying, but we hear what we want to hear. You slap somebody. Come on, preacher. Hey, come on, listen. Oh, come on. No, the person, when I think about the first conversations, the conversation is that my ex was saying they never felt love. Listen to this. Prince, I love you. Welcome forward, my love. She slapped me. I'm done. You guys, I love y'all. Be loved, thank you. Prince, I love you so much. Rich evening, love. Okay, so when I listened back to and thought about the conversations that I had with my ex when we first started talking, the Most High made it clear in Revelation. He said, listen to what they were saying. I want you to talk and repeat the things that you first talked about when you engaged with this person and what they were saying. Now I could see clear and hear clear as day that they were speaking about not being loved. We're going to go a little further. They wasn't just speaking about not being loved. They were speaking about not loving themselves. Not understanding. Twin City! Hey, love. Rich evening, King. A connection is more than just a feeling. That's it. But he had me to go back and remember these conversations so I can see that I have to take accountability for what I've caused also. Did my last relationship bring me to hell and back? Yeah. But how did I get there? How did I invite the devil in, honey? He had to have been invited. But we don't want to take accountability for the things. I heard it clear as day. They couldn't be loved. Yes. They don't know how to love themselves. They couldn't. They talked about not being loved because they didn't know how to love themselves. That's it, Ashes. We chose not to listen. Why? Because guess what, Ashes? Guess what, Preacher? Guess what, Dwayne? Guess what, Beats Love? Guess what, Brandy? Guess what? Guess what? Candy wanted a relationship. So that's all that mattered. What did I choose to hear? I chose to hear that they wasn't loved. And I chose to decide that I was going to give it. J Princess Hit Love. Happy New Year's. Welcome forward. That's what I chose. I chose to hear what I wanted to hear. And when we do that, we cheat the scale. What does that mean? We choose to not read it. We choose to not use it. We choose to do what we want to do that's not according to our journey, to our destiny, to where we got our purpose, to where we need to go. And we choose to try to snatch and cheat our way into our promises. What does that mean? Well, the Lord and the Most High has promised me a helpmate. Right? He has promised me a spouse. He has promised me a partner. But because I don't want to wait till I'm ready, I want to take it when I can. I'll do what I got to do. Am I talking to... when I say these things, I'm talking about me. I know, because I've been there, and I've done it before, and I tried it my way. And my church, we know that's the wrong way. But I tried it my way. I absolutely love her time. It's so glad to cut you. Oh, thank you, King Q. Hey, love. J Princess. I tried it my way. And it doesn't work, because it's not I didn't create this journey. So what I'm trying to say is when we say relationships are formed through the value of exchange, we have to understand what value is. And the value starts within ourselves. Value doesn't start where it's built off of fear. That's what Preacher was talking about. A lot of times we force connections. We build a lot of times, not force connections. A lot of times we take connections and force relationships. That's it. We take the connections and force relationships. Well, the connections that you have with people, are they positive or negative? We've been running through our whole life, talking about myself before. I ran through my whole life making relationships off of connections and not even knowing what the connection was. What does that mean, Candy? That means that I call the person I call my best friend was my enemy. That's what that means. Because I chose not to pay attention to the connections and what the value was in them and what kind of connections they were. I ended up creating a relationship with someone that was my enemy. and didn't have no two clues or 2 cents about what it was, because I just wanted what I wanted. I took a bunch and series of connections, and I chose to grow a relationship through that. And it didn't last, and it was and the Most High revealed some things. All praises to Him for revealing things to us, loving us when we didn't love ourselves, even when we're hard-headed, even when we tried to still go our way. He still loves us enough to wake us up. Even when we're in the muck and the mire, even when we're all the way down in the valley, He still chooses to go down there, reach for us, shake us up a little bit and say, all right, are you finished doing it your way? Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Lily. Are you done? That's how he goes. He done shake your shoulder real hard like, yo, you remember me? Yes, me. Are you finished? That's exactly what He does, because He loves us, because he makes it His way to make sure we have what we deserve. He doesn't want us to live in less than we deserve. He doesn't want us to live in suffering and pain. He doesn't want us to live in... This is why He has created a great destiny for us. And He knows we can't reach that destiny until we understand who we are. And not just understanding who we are, that we understand who we are to the best of our ability, and He leads the way. He leads the way, slowly and surely bringing us revelation in the very things and in who we are. So why do we force our valueless connections into relationships? And Preacher said it earlier, it's because of fear. And sometimes it's because of fear. It's because of feeling. What do you mean by feeling, Candy? It's because we get a taste of our promise and we want it now. That's it. We get a taste of something and we want it now. We want it before it's time. So we force these relationships that are built off empty connections. And then wonder why our relationship feel empty. If we've been there, put a 1 in the comments. Let's just go there. And somebody put a 1 for me, because, come on now. We build relationships over empty connections and wonder why our relationship is empty. Lucky! Hey, love. Alicia! Yes, Lily. Somebody put a 1 for me because, Happy New Year's. Rich evening, love. So nice to see you. Okay, 1 for Preacher and 1 for Candy. Thank you, Preacher. Okay. That's it. I spent a whole lot of my life. Thank you. Oh, rich blessings to you, Alicia. I love you. So nice to see you, love. I spent a whole lot of my life fighting for empty relationships that were built off of empty connections. Believing the value comes from how many connections I have and not what the value of the connection is. We've been there. We know. So if we say connections is like a form of communication, and the communication is email, how many times do we filter through our junk mail? When are you, okay, Twin City, I see you, King. When are you going to be sick and tired of getting rid of junk mail? Let's do that. How many people are tired of junk mail? Real mail in the mail, emails of junk mail, spam phone calls. Come on. We get tired. Yes, connections are dead weight. We waste so much time getting rid of junk mail, trying to filter in to find the value in something. That's how our relationships are. Some of us are connected to relationships that we don't even know why we're in a relationship with them anymore. Why? Because we constantly filing through junk mail. We're constantly going through all the mess and the muck and all this stuff trying to find where the value is. Okay, Preacher, been there. Do you see that? And all we can remember is just how long we known them. But we can't even remember the last time we had a divine conversation. We can't remember the last time you made my baby jump, the last time you inspired me, the last time you even ever made me feel good. What happens is the exchange is off. What's the exchange? The value in the exchange. A connection is a connection, honey. If you pick up the phone when somebody calls you, it's connected. You don't even got to say anything. That's what we're lost in, these empty connections. Okay, beloved. No, when I call you, I need you to respect me and say, hello, who's this? I need you to say something to me, talk to me, encourage me a little bit. Who am I talking? Disconnected connections, I can hear you. Come on, right. We all the way off, we ain't even talking. But just because you call, it didn't matter what you say, it didn't matter what you did, it didn't matter why. No, it matters. It matters. I respect myself enough. Come on, beloved. I respect myself enough to care about what is being said. That's it. You just say wrong number. We need to say wrong number to some connections. That's it. Yeah. I don't need to be connected to you no more, because guess what? The deep part is it takes energy to pick up the phone. It takes energy to pick up the phone. You know that, right? It takes energy to listen. It takes energy to go through that junk mail and take your time out and delete and unsubscribe and all that stuff. Do you see that, bless? Hey, love. Do you see all that? That's your energy being wasted on what? On junk, emptiness, valueless things. We got to love ourselves more than we do how many relationships we have. I'll say it again. We got to love ourselves more than how many relationships we have. We choose not to love ourselves just so we can say we have 5 friends. To say we have 4 friends, to say that, I got a boyfriend, I got a girlfriend. No, it don't work like that. If the connection drains you, it's not for you. That's it. Are you getting anything back? Is there an exchange? And what type of exchange is it? Is it uplifting? Is it helping? What is it doing to you? Is it propelling? Is it moving you? Is it elevating you? Is it helping you evolve? Is it helping you grow? And it's not just about you. A real connection deals with the real value in exchange. Isn't that what I said? Relationships are formed through the value of the exchange. And if the value is high, then both ends have to be high. There's a give and there's a give. I'm not going to say take. There's a give and there is a give. I give because I love you. I give because I care about you. I give from the goodness of my heart. Not because I'm looking for something, but I give because I love you. We give so much, we forget we're supposed to get something back. We forget that we the only one giving. We're in relationships that we're so lost in love with these people that we're in relationships with, and I'm talking about friends, family, everything. We're so lost in love with these. Thank you, twin. We're so lost in love that we don't even hear the dial tone anymore. We don't even hear the busy signal. And we still on the phone. That's how our relationships are right now. We don't even hear the busy signal. Remember that? On our old school phones? That thing just black out when somebody hang up. Dead silent. That thing is, come on, preacher, that thing is trying to alert you. That's the Most High. Like, hello. Wake up. You ain't getting nothing from this relationship. There ain't no exchange. There ain't no value in this. You need to hang up. Right? This needs to be disconnected. That's what the Spirit is saying. But we're so blind that we can't hear nothing. We're so blinded by the relationship that we don't even notice we the only one who's giving. And then we wonder why we so tired. We wonder why we don't have enough strength to have faith in what we're going through. Faith to push through, to get through the very things that the Most High has called us to go through, to grow through. We can't even get through it because we dishing out all of our energy everywhere else. To people, okay, do right, okay, be loved. To everything and everyone else, it ain't even helping us. So what I challenge you, my king and queens, is why not? This is what I challenge you with. Why not, my loves? Why not read the connection before the relationship? Okay, preacher. Why not read the connection before the relationship? When we come to a place of self-love, we say, you know what? I need to know what the connection is. I need to understand the value in the connection. I don't need to go further than that. I don't just want numbers. I'm not just about this life. Aries, hey love, Rose, welcome for it. Dr. Root, Jackson, Shekinah, welcome back. Mr. Cool. No, we growing. I'm going to a deeper place than this. What do you mean, Candy? I'm going deeper than this. I done wasted too much time. What time did you waste, Candy? I wasted too much time doing my own will. That's what I wasted. When all I needed to do was have a relationship with the Father, to speak to him like my dad and say, where do I go? What do I do? What do I need? Show me how to love you. You know that's deep. Just show me how to love you. Who you talking to, Candy? I'm talking to the Most High. Show me how to love you. When I understand your glory is all I need, then everything else is easy. Oh, what are you saying, Candy? Your life is easy? You saying you don't go through nothing hard? What I'm saying is that I could rest in his arms. What I'm saying is I could have peace in the midst of a storm. What I'm saying is when I go through the hard thing, I still love him. Read the connection, because I love myself more at the end of the day. I love me because he lives in me. When I love me, I love him because he lives in me. I love myself more at the end of the day to love people better. And we're talking about people. We know that he comes first. But when we're talking about people, I got to. That's how I understand the value in it. That's how I'll come to a place to say, okay, Most High. That's how I'll come to a place to say, why not read the connection before the relationship? I'm going to do it because I see value in me. I see value in me, and I'm going to do it because I ain't wasting time no more. I done wasted too much time. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of falling in traps. I'm sick and tired of sabotaging myself. I'm sick and tired of dealing with this, dealing with that. Who am I talking to? I'm too old for this now. I don't play games no more. You can keep it moving because I ain't playing games with you no more. What I'm going to do is figure some things out. Okay, thanks for challenging me in the new year. Okay, beloved. All praises to Most High. Thank you, Lord, for giving us this message. This is for me too. Thank you. No more will I sit here and waste any time anymore. You are important enough and you are valued enough to figure out what the connection is before you even waste your time in a relationship. And that's what it comes to. Why? Because you are carrying him. He's in you. You can't just waste your time with anything or anyone. You got things to do. What does that mean? I got godly things to do. I got divine things to do. I got his will to do. I don't have time to waste in any... Glasses gang. Hey, love. Oh, so nice to see you, love. Happy New Year's, rich evening. I got things to do, honey. What is king? King, you gotta be like, I got things to do. Queen, you gotta be just like that. I got things to do. What is that? Divine things. I'm gonna focus on my divinity. I'm gonna put things towards my, thank you, love. I'm gonna put things towards my purpose. That's what I'm doing now. Oh, so why are you checking about connections? I'm checking about connections. Oh, I love you, Queen. I'm checking about connections because I can't waste no more time, honey. I'm not wasting any more time. What's mine is mine. I'm going to get to it. He promised it for me. He spoke it for me. We're going to get there. Okay? So I'm going to read the connection because I see value in myself. That I won't waste precious time that the Most High gives me that's priceless. I'm not going to do it anymore. When the relationship comes to me and the connection has to do with me helping them because they need help to understand their value, okay, that doesn't mean I jump in a relationship with them. Me understanding the connection is they're supposed to be my friend, me not jumping in a relationship with them, because we got to understand that the Most High has us doing things in seasons. Sometimes we are supposed to befriend someone for a season and then we're supposed to move on. If we're too stuck on connections, we won't know when to let go. Okay, thank you, Most High, for that. Did you hear that? If we're so stuck on connections, we ain't even going to understand when to let go. What is connections? Well, all the series of connections that led us to relationship. We went to high school together. We went to college together. We worked together. We did this. We did that. Come on, Dwayne. We ain't going to know when to let go because you basing all your stuff on the shell and not the foundation. Oh, you basing everything. You're not letting go because you're basing all your stuff on the shell and not the foundation. Thank you, Dwayne. Do you see that? It's not how many years you knew someone. It's what is their divine connection to you. Let's remove that we have a good time. Let's remove that we can have some good conversation. Do you grow from the relationship? Is it pushing you towards your purpose? Come on, below. Is it helping you grow? That's the biggest thing that I deal with people. Is it helping you grow? A lot of people say, yeah, no, we always get along. We always have a good time. But what does it do to you? Just give you a good time? Or what? Do you have a good time and you grow? Do you learn? Do you share? Do you feel something? There's something more to relationships that you're supposed to have. That's it. What's the more? The more is do you feel the God in it? That's what I'm talking about. Do you feel the Spirit and the Holy Spirit? Do you feel it in it? Whatever it is, do you feel it? The more connected that we are, thank you, beloved, the more connected that we are to Him is the more that we'll understand the connection. When we're connected to the source, then we'll always understand what the connections are to others. When we're connected to the source, to Him, when we're communing with Him, talking to Him, keeping Him first, putting Him priority, things like that, understanding, going to Him when we don't understand. As simple as it is. Oh, I want something. I'm trying to figure it out. You know what? Let me go to Him. The Lord, tell me clearly what you want me to do. And that's all you have to do. Seek Him, find Him. This is what preacher said. If we ask not, then we will not have. We have to ask. So the last thing that I want to talk about now is are your connections promoting authenticity? That's taking us a little further in. Are your connections promoting authenticity? B-Love said something real, you know. Is it the fake me that I'm bringing these relationships to, or is it the real me? You know, we wonder why people just when our back against the wall, we have nobody, no one is nowhere to be found, honey, because you have built your relationships off of a lie. And what is that lie? That lie is that you're not really who you say you are. The person that you show with your friends ain't really you. The one that you pretend to be with your partner isn't really who you are. No, I do see. I am who I am, and I don't. Well, honey, you don't even say how you feel. So if you can't even talk about your emotions or feel anything in the relationship, and they don't really know how you feel about situations and things, and then how do they know you? Because we talked about it before. When you shut down your emotions, you're shutting down your DNA speaking. That is who you are. If you close down where you do not have a voice in your feelings, and you can't express it, then it's not who you are. Then you're building relationships off of lies. What do you mean a lie, Candy? Well, if you don't like it done that way and you choose to be quiet about it, then you're not really being who you are. And, oh, well, I don't like it that way. That means that I'm right. It don't even matter whether it's you're right or wrong. You should still be able to speak about it. Y'all should be able to grow through it. You should be able to be taught how to deal with emotional intelligence. You dealing with your emotions, how you should feel them, how you should express them, which ones are right, which ones are wrong, why you feeling the way you feeling, what needs to be healed, what needs to be said, what needs to be exposed. There's a lot of things that go on to it. Are we choosing to live as the person we want to be, or are we choosing to live as the person that we are? If we are living as the person that we are, then we understand that I have some things. I don't got it all together. I can't have it all together because I'm not perfect, but I need Him, the Most High, to help me to get there. And that's it. So are our connections promoting our authenticity? Do we want the people we're connected to be real as we come real ourselves? You got to be real with you before you expect someone or something to be real to you. If I don't show you who I am, how do I know that you're my friend? If I don't show you who I am, how can you be my significant other and I know that you're supposed to be mine? Because, honey, then you are just a friend somewhere. Honey, then you are just a friend of my fake being. You are a friend to the lie. You are a spouse to the lie. You are my fake being. Not who I really am, the person I portray myself to be. First, you gotta be real with you before you are real with someone else. Come on, preacher. First, you gotta be real with you before you even look for something real. That's why we have these valueless connections connected to these false relationships. Are your connections promoting authenticity? Are you looking for the real thing? Are you looking for the real thing? So I gotta be authentic if I want my relationships to. If you want to continue to live in false relationships and wonder why, we can't. You can't. There ain't no foundation. If the house doesn't have a foundation, it will fall in a storm. You're wondering why you all by yourself every time a storm hits, every time your back is against the wall, every time you need help. No one is anywhere to be found, honey. They're only shells. The shell of relationships and no foundation in them because our connections are empty. Imagine building a house with a shell of bricks. It looked like bricks. It seemed like bricks, but they just fake bricks. That's exactly what we do. We build it and we want it to be strong and it looks real nice. Honey, your friendships look real nice. King, your friendships look real nice. Matter of fact, your wife do. Your husband do. King, Queen, your relationships look real nice. Matter of fact, your husband do, your wife do. They look real nice. But what happens when you show them the mirror? Stop settling for less. Come on, preacher. What happens when you show them the mirror? What happens when you're naked and sucker free at love? What happens when you're naked in front of them? What do they see? What do they say? When you are naked in front of your relationships, what do they have to say? Nothing. Criticism, empowerment, elevation. What do they have to say? Have they ever seen you? Oh, do we have to go in a whole nother motivation for that? Have the people that you have a relationship in your life, every single one of them, have they seen you? What do they say when they see you naked? What do they say when they see the real preacher? What do they say when they see the real Sunflower? What do they say when they see the real Dwayne, the real Lola, the real Be-Love? What do they say? The real Ashes. When I tried to show, they criticized. Come on. So what was your connection, Sunflower? What was the connections that created your relationship? What value did they have? Did we even check if there was value in them at all? Or maybe we didn't because we didn't even see value in ourselves. Everything is connected. So guess what? Right, fake and wrong. Come on, Sunflower. Well, guess what? We need to start reevaluating our relationships since we found value. What do you mean, Candy? What I'm saying is, now that you love you, now that you know what self-love is, knowing your value, knowing your worth, and having a relationship with the Most High, now that you know what that is, now that you live in that, you must reevaluate some of your relationships, because your relationships have been built off of connections that have no value. And a relationship is a relationship, whether it's good or bad. Is this not right? Okay, I want you to put a 1 in the comments if you had a relationship that was bad. And I want you to put a 2 in the comments if you had a relationship that was bad. A 1 in the comments if you had a relationship that was bad. And I want you to put a 2 in the comments if you ever experienced a relationship that was good. A 1 in the comments for a bad relationship that you have experienced. And a 2 in the comments of a good relationship that you have experienced. A 1 for a bad relationship that you have experienced. And a 2 for a good relationship. Okay, preacher, you got it. There you go. 1 and 2. You Be-Love, you got it too. Guess what? Relationships are relationships. I don't want 100 relationships because I could have 100 bad ones, honey. If I can have 1 good one, that is enough. And all I need, let's go a little bit further. Thank you, Most High. All I need is the real relationship that will make me understand every other, and that is a relationship with my Father. If I have a relationship with my Father, then I will understand the value in every other one. So what really matters and what is priority is if He is first and He is King and He sits on the throne in my life and He makes the decisions and I follow His will. That's it. That's it right there. Because He loved me when I didn't love myself. Because He sees value in me in my lowest day. He sees value when I feel like there's nothing to see. So if I have a relationship with Him, who is, who was, and forever will be, then all these other relationships will fall in line. That's it. Okay, preacher. That's it right there. Connections can be connections, and relationships can be positive and negative. But I don't want nothing if I ain't got a relationship with Him. How will I ever know? How will I ever know? If the greatest relationship can be with my Father and He has seen me naked, then I don't need to prove anything to you when you see me. Did you hear? If the greatest relationship I ever had is with my Father and He has seen me naked, then if you see me and you ain't got nothing to say, it don't matter, because I got Him. And now I know who you are. Don't be afraid to make your relationship authentic. Because if you won't take me as I am, as I'm growing, then I don't need the connection. And I don't need the series of connections to create the relationship. That's it, preacher. Break the addiction to the people and love you. Because when you love yourself, you love on Him. Why? Because the Most High loves you. I never understood how to love myself until I loved Him. That's real. I never knew how to love myself until I truly loved Him. And then He showed me I was worthy to be loved.